Welcome to another edition of Buckeye's Brainiacs Bowl here on BCSN, brought to you by Owens Community College. I'm Mason Lowry. I'm delighted to welcome you to our first episode of Round 2. Both of these teams won their first-round matches, St. Francis and Central Catholic, and who doesn't love a big-time rivalry, huh? You guys excited?
Absolutely, yeah.
As well you should be, as am I. We're going to get right to the buzzing round in a moment, but first, they're going to introduce themselves.
Casey Blocking, sophomore.
Jordan Easton, junior.
Terry Taylor, junior.
Justin Dries, senior.
Alexander Cherry, senior.
Isabella Zatko, senior.
Joel Dries, junior.
Zach Green, freshman.
Welcome to the Buzzin' Round. In the Buzz-In round, both teams will have their buzzers in hand. Teams buzzing in and answering correctly will receive 10 points. If they answer incorrectly, they will lose 10 points. Good luck.
And as always, the Buzz-In Round is brought to you by Unison Health and the Mental Health Board of Lucas County. You guys ready to go? All right, time for the Buzz-In Round. 3 minutes on the clock, and your 3 minutes begins right now. Name the Trojan who courted Dido, recounted in a namesake epic.
Aeneas.
Aeneas is correct. 10 for St. Francis. The villain of Fritz Lang's M whistles a piece from what suite which contains the song Morning Mood? St. Francis.
Peer Gynt.
Correct. Mali built a great one of these institutions at Jen. It's a mosque. What body expanded its powers through the case Marbury v. Madison? St. Francis.
Supreme Court.
You got it. What performance artist led a plastic band in her 1970 debut album and took part in bed-ins with her husband, John Lennon? St. Francis.
Yoko Ono.
You got it. Deadlocked and Stereo Madness are main levels in what 2D side-scrolling? St. Francis.
Geometry Dash.
Geometry Dash is correct. Which composer included a can-can dance in Orpheus? St. Francis.
Offenbach.
Offenbach is correct. What African-American revolutionary infamously commented that the chickens come home to roost after the Kennedy assassination? St. Francis.
Malcolm X.
Correct. A group of mahjong-playing women is referenced in the title of what novel by Amy Tan? There was a movie made about it as well, The Joy Luck Club. Which French sculptor depicted Dante sitting on a rock in The Thinker? It's Rodin. The Dunning-Kruger effect describes individuals whose value for what trait is lower than they think.
Competence.
Incorrect. It's intelligence. Who dropped out of the 2024 Democratic presidential primary in July of this year? Central?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden is correct. A common casserole served at Thanksgiving includes what long, thin, green vegetable?
Green
Central. You got it. This is the only regular polygon, which has the same number of diagonals as sides. What is it?
Square.
Sorry, regular pentagon. The line, I know that my Redeemer liveth, is sung in what Handel oratorio that includes the Hallelujah chorus? Central.
Handel's Messiah.
You got it. What young British artist created his piece, The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living by preserving a shark in formaldehyde? Damien Hirst. What Greek-speaking Eastern Roman Empire lost the siege of Constantinople to the Ottoman Empire?
Byzantine.
Byzantine is correct. 10 points for Central Catholic. What character names a series of racing game tracks such as Coconut Mall and Rainbow Road?
Mario.
10 for St. Francis. Gyres are rotating types of what entities whose other types include one named for Humboldt and the Gulf Stream? That's time. We were looking for ocean currents. So a really good start to this one for St. Francis. They're up 80-20 in this big rivalry matchup against Central Catholic. But don't go far. Plenty more Brainiacs Bowl when we come back.
Young people who participate in meaningful activities are less likely to use drugs or alcohol. Your time, your choice. Learn more at unisonhealth.org.
Are you looking for a life-changing opportunity? Check out Owens Community College, the powerhouse choice for your higher education. Owens offers more than 160 innovative programs, including the region's #1 nursing program and the nation's only accredited MRI associate degree. And Owens has so much more: technical and performing arts, culinary arts, skilled trades, and public safety. Get started today. Learn how Owens will impact your life. Apply today. Your success starts here.
Young people who participate in meaningful activities are less likely to use drugs or alcohol. Your time, your choice. Learn more at unisonhealth.org.
Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College. Your success starts here. Apply today at owens.edu. Welcome to the volley round. The volley round, the first question goes to the team with the lowest score. If they answer correctly, they are awarded 10 points, and the next question goes to the opposing team. If any team answers a question incorrectly, the opposing team gets a chance to answer that question and still receive their question. Good luck.
Back here on Brainiacs Bowl, time for the volley round, and Central Catholic will get the first question. They trail St. Francis 80-20. Remember to listen very carefully to every question, because if it is answered incorrectly the first time, the other team will get a chance to steal. Central Catholic, you're on the clock. 3 minutes for you. Begin now. Name this biblical book celebrated during Purim, which is named after a Jewish queen of Persia.
Come on. Exodus.
Incorrect. You could steal, St. Francis.
Esther.
Esther is correct. This question is for you. What Italian scientist's namesake number is the number of atoms per mole?
Avogadro.
Correct. Central Catholic, what American artist depicted a duck that hooked itself with a fishing pole and based the painting Drowning Girl on a DC Comics panel?
Stanley.
Incorrect. You can steal.
Smith.
Roy Lichtenstein is the correct answer. St. Francis, silverbacks lead groups of what primates, which besides chimpanzees and bonobos are the human's closest ancestors?
Gorillas.
No,
Correct. With an S, not a Z. Up to Central Catholic. In what language are potatoes literally called apples of earth?
French.
French is correct. St. Francis, John Dillinger and Pretty Boy Floyd were labeled as public enemy #1 for repeatedly robbing what?
Fort Knox.
Sorry, you can steal.
Banks.
Banks is correct. Central Catholic, what commentary on McCarthyism was written by Arthur Miller and follows John Proctor's experiences in the Salem witch trials?
Did we read? Oh, we read this. Town of Salem.
Incorrect. You can steal, St. Francis. The Crucible is correct. St. Francis, which president's tenure saw the establishment of Medicare as part of his Great Society program?
Johnson. LBJ.
It is LBJ. Central Catholic, name this figure known as Isa in the Quran who was kissed on the mouth at the Gardens of Gethsemane by Judas Iscariot.
Jesus.
Yeah, I had a feeling that might come up in this game. You're correct. St. Francis, what character witnesses the murder of Injun Joe and earlier profited by trading off the job of whitewashing a fence?
Tom Sawyer.
Correct. Central Catholic, what quantity is related to flow velocity by Bernoulli's principle, kept constant in isobaric processes, and is equal to force over area?
Pressure.
Pressure is correct. St. Francis, what member of the squad who defeated Joe Crowley in a 2018 primary and is the daughter of a Puerto Rican mother is a progressive Democrat representing the Bronx and Queens?
AOC.
Correct. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Central Catholic, name this husband of Kadi who encountered the angel Jibril on Bala Noor in the cave of Hira.
Gabriel.
Sorry, St. Francis?
Muhammad.
It is Muhammad. In what state did a pastor at the Ebenezer Baptist Church defeat Kelly Loeffler in a 2000?
Georgia.
Yeah, time is up. Bell went. We're going to give it to him or no?
Yes.
We will give it to you. Rich is telling me I should have completed the question, and he's probably right. So St. Francis, 170 to 60. Gosh, you guys have done a fantastic job so far, but 4 minutes for you guys to come back in the final challenge round. That's next.
Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College, home to Northwest Ohio's #1 nursing college.
Do you know a teacher or aide that goes above and beyond for their students? Now more than ever, we would like to recognize those educators. Go to bcsnnation.com/heroes to nominate a classroom hero today and help us tell their story. As a special thank you, they will be awarded a BCAN feature story and a $300 cash prize. Classroom Heroes is presented by Gallant, Tachus, and Boisenall.
Businesses across the country rely on Telesystem for their cybersecurity, networking, and communication needs. Our team is focused on building trust with our customers and truly understanding their business needs from the inside out. Hackers are trying to get into your business every minute of every day. We know that hackers suck. Our job is to help you and your IT team sleep better at night and have a business to come back to tomorrow. IT is about trust.
Hi, Tom Cole, the coach for Taylor Automotive and BCSN. Did you know that sudden cardiac arrest can happen to anyone at any time?
For this reason, the Western Lake Area chapter of the American Red Cross is partnering with BCSN to teach free, hands-only CPR classes to our local high school students.
Introducing Heartbeats for High Schools, driven by the Taylor Automotive family.
Go to bcsnnation.com/heart to sign your school up for a class today and learn this essential life-saving technique.
Sean's Irish Taverns offer great food and fun in a family sports bar atmosphere. And if you're looking for great burgers, steaks, salads, soups, and pizza, we've got you covered. Watch the biggest games every day with awesome food and drink specials. Looking for a banquet room for special parties? Sean's can take care of you. We're locally owned and operated and are proud to be active members of the Northwest Ohio community. Stop into any of the Sean's Irish Taverns today. Just sit back and let us serve you.
Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is brought to you in part by Unison Health and the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board of Lucas County, reminding you that it's your time, your choice. Welcome to the Lightning Round. In the Lightning Round, each team gets 3 minutes to answer as many questions as possible. 10 points will be awarded for each correct answer. This round will begin with the team that has the lowest score. Good luck.
I think I got a little ahead of myself at the end of our last block. It's, of course, not the final challenge just yet. It's time for the lightning round instead. I know you guys are going to keep me on task, so I do appreciate that. Central Catholic will go first. They trail St. Francis 170 to 60 at this point. Central Catholic, you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
All right. Your 3 minutes starts now. What body led by Tomás de Torquemada carried out autodafés to force confessions out of suspected heretics?
Pass.
Spanish Inquisition. What band, best known for albums like Favorite Worst Nightmare and AM, had a sleeper hit with a 2006 song of theirs that became viral on TikTok called 505?
They Might Be Giants.
One of my favorites. The correct answer is also one of my favorites. Arctic Monkeys. What leader of the Workers' Party was implicated in Operation Car Wash and defeated Jair Bolsonaro in the 2022 Brazilian presidential election?
Pass.
Lula. What fictional character shared a Seattle apartment with his father Martin and his home health care aide Daphne Moon?
I don't know. Pass.
Dr. Fraser Crane. What type of poem, like one by Basho depicting a frog jumping into a pond, follows a 5-7-5 syllable scheme?
Go for it. Go for it.
All right, pass.
Haiku.
Haiku? We'll take haiku. We'll accept that. What pop artist used screen printing to depict 32 cans of Campbell's soup?
Monet? Oh, thank God. Pass.
Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
What German economist and philosopher outlined how the exploitation of surplus labor drives capitalism in Das Kapital?
Williams.
Karl Marx. A rainbow symbolized God's covenant with what man who saved mankind from extinction with his ark?
Noah.
Correct. What organ whose blood supply comes through the portal vein produces bile and may be affected by cirrhosis due to excessive alcohol consumption?
Liver.
The liver is correct. Which home state of Confederate Vice President Alexander Stephens was the site of an 1864 March to the Sea led by William Tecumseh
Georgia.
Sherman? Say again?
Georgia.
Georgia is correct. What character from the Arabian Nights says, "Open sesame" to enter a cave filled with treasures from 40 thieves?
Go for it. Aladdin.
Ali Baba. What cartel with 13 members aims to unify oil policy across
MS-13?
nations?
MS-13.
OPEC. Organization of
Oh, wait.
Petroleum
No,
Exporting
wrong cartel.
Countries.
Oh, no.
Who lost his superhuman strength after his hair was cut by Delilah?
Samson. Yep.
Samson is correct. What reality competition show whose recent winners include Marianne Oketch and Tony Vlachos is well known for host Jeff Probst's catchphrase, "The tribe has spoken"?
Survivor.
Correct. What empire was the site of La Noche Triste, the aid of La Malinche, and the capture of Moctezuma II by conquistadors led by Cortez?
Mexican.
The Aztec Empire is what we were looking for. What Australian-born media mogul, the founder of News Corp, formerly owned Fox News and currently owns the New York Post and Wall Street Journal?
Williams.
Rupert Murdoch. What cells contain synapses at their axonal junctions and transmit electrical and chemical signals through the nervous
Neuron.
system? Neuron is correct. Name the abstract painter of lavender mist, poured and flung paint to create his drip paintings.
Pollock.
Jackson Pollock is correct. So Central Catholic, yeah, you've made some hay there for sure. You're up to 140 points. You still trail St. Francis, though. They come into this round with 170. St. Francis, you guys ready?
Let's do it.
I know you are. Your 3 minutes begins now. What lake known as America's Dead Sea names the capital of Utah?
Great Salt Lake.
Correct. This character's death is implied in the blank chapter Vanished into the Clouds and is often described as shining.
Pass.
Genji. What country's 1979 revolution brought Khomeini to power?
Pass.
Iran. Name the ideology that was pioneered by the author of Reflections on the Revolutions in France, Edmund Burke.
Pass.
Conservatism. Name the winged horse from Greek myth who was stung by a gadfly while Bellerophon attempted to reach Mount Olympus.
Pegasus.
Correct. What type of composition was Mozart's last work, A Mass for the
Requiem.
Dead? Requiem is correct. What geographical feature populated by the native Berber people lies north of the Sahel region and is the largest hot desert on Earth?
Sahara.
Correct. Through what process do plants convert light into energy?
Photosynthesis.
Correct. What NBA team that plays home games at Chase Center beat the Boston Celtics in the 2022 Finals and is led by prolific three-point shooters Klay Thompson and Steph Curry?
Golden State Warriors.
Correct. What Indian-Canadian poet is known for her many Insta poems?
Pass.
Rupi Kaur. A piece of what type features a piccolo obbligato solo in its trio strain and is titled Stars and Stripes Forever?
March.
It's a march, correct. What city home to the crookedest street in the world experienced a magnitude 7.9
San
earthquake
Francisco.
in 1906? Correct. What monarch addressed his nation in the Jewel Voice broadcast, which ended Japanese involvement in World War II?
Hirohito.
Hirohito is correct. What mechanical quantity symbolized tau is a cross product of, say again?
Torque.
Correct. What island is divided by the Green Line into Turkish and Greek halves and
Cyprus.
lies in the eastern Mediterranean?
Cyprus.
Correct. What First Lord of the Admiralty presided over the failure of the Gallipoli campaign decades before becoming Prime Minister?
Pass.
Churchill. Name this chaste Greek goddess of the hunt, the sister of Apollo.
Artemis.
Artemis is correct. The command, "Sing the rage of what hero," opens the Iliad, in which he dies after Paris shoots his heel?
Achilles.
You got it. A lack of vitamin D or calcium can weaken what structures that are connected by
Bones.
ligaments? Correct. Irish famine refugees crowded the 5 Point slum in what city, the site of the Stonewall riots?
New York City.
Correct. What former Atlanta Falcons and Philadelphia Eagles quarterback spent 21 months in jail for his involvement in a dogfighting ring?
Pass.
Michael Vick. It's not temperature, but what quantity is only equal to 0 for a perfect crystal at absolute
Entropy.
0? Entropy is correct. A base named after Robert Falcon Scott is on what continent where many died trying to reach the South Pole?
South America?
Antarctica. Who established Babylonian rule over most of Mesopotamia and wrote a namesake law code which stipulated
Hammurabi.
an eye? Correct. Who helped Hera cross a river while wearing one sandal?
Zeus.
In mythology, it is Jason. Goodness gracious, St. Francis. 340 points. A 200-point lead on Central Catholic. Well done. It can be done. You'll have 4 minutes in the final challenge round. I promise you, that one is coming up next.
Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College. Your success starts here. Apply today at owens.edu.
Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Here at Rev, our team of experts will help make your vision a reality. We offer everything your brand needs, from full-service video production, motion graphics and animation, to web development and digital advertising, with our focus locally, regionally, and nationwide. Grow with Rev and join us to help elevate your brand's impact in the digital landscape and beyond. Call today.
Do you know your customers? TDO does. We see them every day, on their way to work, on their way to school, and on their way home. Billboard advertising delivers the right message in the right place at the right time, with proven results and proven ROI. TDO can help you get to know your customers with real, powerful advertising. Call us today to find out more.
It's April in the 419. Get out and explore the best events our region has to offer. On April 3rd through 6th, experience the charm and romance of Pretty Woman Musical, a classic on the screen and the stage. Visit multiple craft shows at Tam O'Shanter, Toledo Hope United Methodist Church, and Mommy Bay Brewing Company on April 5th and 6th. Then look ahead to Best Bites downtown Toledo, a tour for your taste buds featuring 14 famous Toledo restaurants. Learn more at explore419.com or on Explore419's social media pages.
Ready to elevate your game? At Adrian College, our athletes strive for excellence on and off the field. Get involved in over 50 student clubs and organizations where your passions meet purpose. With innovative programs and personalized learning, our academics are designed to ignite your future. Experience vibrant student life, where community and connection shape your college journey. Adrian College, where you belong. Apply today and become part of the Bulldog family.
Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College, home to Northwest Ohio's #1 nursing college. This is the final challenge. Now it's time for the final challenge. Teams will once again have their buzzers in hand. Any team buzzing in with a correct answer will receive 10 points. If the team that buzzed in answers incorrectly, the opposing team gets a chance to answer that same question and gain 10 points. Good luck.
Back to Brainiacs Bowl. Time for the final challenge, brought to you by Unison Health and the Mental Health Board of Lucas County. St. Francis has been dominant so far, up 340 to 140 on Central Catholic in our first match of the second round here on Brainiacs Bowl. But Irish, you've got 4 minutes to overturn a really big deficit. Think you can do it?
Yes, sir.
Let's go for it.
Let's see what happens. 4 minutes begins now. Make sure your hands are on your buzzers, and here we go. What inventor from Mainz names an edition of the Bible created using his invention of the movable type printing press? Central Catholic.
Johannes Kepler.
Incorrect. St. Francis, you can steal.
John Locke.
Sorry, it's the wrong Johannes. It's Gutenberg. The system where nonfiction books are classified using decimals is named after whom? St.
Dewey.
Francis. Melville Dewey is correct. What battle saw reinforcements led by Gebhard von Blücher assist the Duke of Wellington in decisively defeating Napoleon and ending the Napoleonic Wars? Central.
Waterloo.
You got it. What lake has the longest coastline of any Great Lake and is connected by the Straits of Mackinac? Central.
Superior.
Sorry, I'll read the question in full. What lake has the longest coastline of any Great Lake and is connected by the Straits of Mackinac to Lake Michigan?
Huron?
It is Huron, correct. A treaty signed here was referred to by Ferdinand Foch as an armistice for 20 years.
Paris?
Sorry, Central Catholic?
Treaty of Versailles. Versailles?
Versailles.
I'll accept that. Palace of Versailles specifically, but Versailles was in there, so I'll accept that. Name this first solfege syllable linked in a Sound of Music song to a homonym, meaning a female deer.
No.
Central. Yeah, you got it. Which oldest Grand Slam tournament has been played on grass courts at the All England Club?
U.S. Open.
Sorry, I'll read it again in full. Which oldest Grand Slam tournament has been played on grass courts at the All England Club in London since 1877?
England Open?
It's Wimbledon, the Wimbledon Championships. The Haber process produces what compound by breaking apart the triple bonds of a diatomic gas?
Ozone?
Incorrect. Central? It's ammonia is what we're looking for. What river forms part of the northern borders of West Virginia and Kentucky, as well as the entire southern border of Indiana? Central.
Ohio.
You got it. What country gives its name to Mendelssohn's Fourth Symphony and also inspired his Venetian boat songs? Central.
Italy.
Italy is correct. Living pharaohs were manifestations of what deity? The falcon-headed Central.
Gods?
Sorry, I'll read it in full. Living pharaohs were manifestations of what deity? The falcon-headed god of the sky.
Osiris?
Wrong, it's Horus. What great Macedonian king conquered the Persian Empire?
Alexander the Great.
You got it. Gatun Lake is located in what country which is cut through by a namesake canal? Central.
Panama.
Panama is correct. What author of The Souls of Black Folk opposed the Atlanta Compromise of Booker T. Washington? Central.
Williams.
Incorrect. St. Francis?
Smith.
Sorry, it's Du Bois. W-E-B, Du Bois. What type of molecule whose thermosetting variety can acquire crosslinks, which include nylon and Teflon and consist of long chains of monomers? That's a long question. Say again?
Plastic.
Sorry. St. Francis?
Polymer?
Polymer is correct. That's the one. What concept, described as the beautiful spark of divinity and daughter of Elysium in a poem set to music in Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, is the addressee of a Friedrich Schiller ode to it?
Joy?
Joy is correct. The Tube is the nickname of what English city's underground? Central. London is correct. What scourge of God and king of the Huns died of a nosebleed? Central.
Attila.
Attila the Hun is correct. What architectural elements come in Corinthian, Doric, and Ionic varieties?
Pillars.
Sorry, can't accept it. Central?
Is that it? Are you finished the question?
You can...
Buttresses.
Columns specifically is what they're looking for, and that's the 4 minutes expired.
Alrighty.
Central, you gave it a go in the final round. You end up with 230 points, but you guys ran into the buzzsaw that is the St. Francis Knights. Maybe getting some revenge over beating you guys in football not too long ago.
You bet.
St. Francis, congratulations on a great performance. You're now 2-0 on Brainiacs Bowl. I'm Mason Lowry, and we'll see you next time on Brainiacs Bowl, brought to you by Owens Community College.